Good afternoon, Japan. Good afternoon, rest of the world. My name is Kaz. I'm an entrepreneur who recently moved to Singapore. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how was my transition from Japan to Singapore, from the applied Singapore visa until the day we actually moved in. I'm going to talk about our experience. If you are interested in today's video, let's get started. So the reason why I was able to move to Singapore because I applied employment pass to the Singapore government. So when I applied for it, I think it was back in around end of May. I got my own company set up in Singapore as of mid-June. And then after that, we applied to the Singapore government to issue employment pass applications because I'm going to be director of my own company. And then it took around a month and a half, I believe. And then I think I heard from Singapore government around mid-August, I was able to get the employment pass. And then from that time, and then we applied my employment pass from my company. And then I think it took another 2 months, so around end of October, I finally found that I officially got approving letter from Singapore government. Then after that, I started to apply a dependent visa for my wife and kids. And then that took another, I think it's about 1 month to 1 month and a half. And then finally, we all got the visa around December 10th, something like that. So I couldn't really decide whether I was going to move to Singapore by end of the year or not until December 10th. So that for my kids, they have to get additional certifications of all the vaccines that my kids received from local Japanese hospital, and all the certificates have to be translated into Japanese by the local hospital with the hospital stamps on it. So that cost me around 8,000 Japanese yen to get the certification. Then after that, I decided to look for apartment, a condominium, actually this condominium, through the propertyguru.singapore.com.sg. I think it's one of the largest real estate platform for both rental and purchases. So I looked for my apartment, and I started to send a message to the real estate agent by WhatsApp, and then I negotiate all the terms, and I was able to get a little discount on the rent because due to the COVID-19, I think there are a lot of vacancy. So that I was able to negotiate some of the rents, so that was good. And in Singapore, one thing you have to be careful is basically you have to rent 2 years contract. So if you withdraw your contract and leave the apartment, you basically have to pay the remaining months of the rent. However, there is a diplomatic clause. For example, I was only get 1 year pass so far, and then if I apply the extension of my visa, and if in case I couldn't extend my visa, I can use the diplomatic clause to cancel the tenancy agreement so that I could leave even though it's less than 2 years of my stay, basically. So if my visa can get extended, I basically need to at least rent 2 years. And then after that, there's always a negotiation with the owner, and maybe I can just leave like 1 month's notice or 2 months notice in case I want to move out. So I know this is something different from Japan. Usually Japan, unless there is a special clause, we can leave the apartment as long as we either leave 1 month or 2 months notice to the owner. So that's something that we need to be careful when you rent an apartment in Singapore. But since I have been running a company and I have a lot of clients, I didn't really have a time to come to Singapore first and then look for an apartment and then decide whatever I like it. Instead, I did the Zoom call with the real estate agent, and then the agent actually showed me the room through the Zoom call. And then, for the location wise, I use the Google map and then, check the location and then check the other restaurants and everything and all the surroundings. And then, how many walks to the stations or local shopping mall, that kind of stuff. And then I really like this condo. That's why I took it. So basically, it was my first time to come to Singapore. And then I made a 2 years agreement with the landlord without even looking at the rooms. So it was kind of crazy. And I had a great moving when I came to the Singapore because I basically purchased all the furniture through IKEA and some of the local furniture store before I moved into my house. So that I had one of my friends in Singapore, so he coordinated all the delivery for me. And then I just pay him some commission, but he basically saved my life. So because of him, I was able to move into Singapore without any hassle. So when I moved into my house, I had all the furniture already in. He had already set up all the electricity, gas, and water, and all the internet. So, and then also he even put some grocery into my refrigerator. So that when I came into my room, I already had everything. The reason why I had to do that because as soon as I moved into Singapore, I had to have 7 days quarantine in my home. So I couldn't go out at all to outside the house. So that if I don't have a furniture, I'm not gonna have a furniture for 7 days. So that's why it was very important to organize everything before I move in. So that was good. So I think I really super great because of my friends. And then regarding the actual movement, I flew out from Haneda to Changi Airport. Within the 40 hours before my departure time, I had to get a PCR test in Japan. Basically, it's a swab test. And then it has to be proven to be a negative. So we did that, and it cost me about 15,000 yen, so it's about $150 US. When I went to the airport, I had to show the PCR testing and all the documentation. So I also had to do the 2 vaccinations, of course. When I arrived to the Singapore in the morning, December 29th, as soon as I went through the customs, I had to do another PCR testing right away. And then we had to prove it was going to be negative as well. So I basically did 2 PCR testing within the matter of 24 hours. So after the PCR testing is done at the Singapore Changi Airport, we have to use the private taxi to move to our condominium. Of course, I'm not going to use it, but we are not allowed to use the public transportation such as MRT or buses. So we had to take that individual taxi, and then that taxi took us to our condominium. After that, we had to stay inside a home for 7 days. During the 7 days quarantine, MOH, the Ministry of Health, called us once a day or something like that to make sure that I'm in the room and make sure that I'm being healthy, kind of thing. But they are very nice, friendly people. So during the stay, I was able to order the online grocery or delivery food such as Pizza Hut or like the McDonald's. I used the app called Grab to order the foods, and also I used the Lazada for online grocery. So that was super handy to have. And then towards the end of the quarantine, on the 6 days, I had to get another PCR testing at the specified location, so that we had to take the Grab, which is like Uber, to go to the location to get the final PCR testing. So if that was also negative, and then on the 7th day, we can start going out. So that was kind of like after the 7 days quarantine. And then one more thing I have to do is, since our family got vaccinated in Japan by Pfizer, our vaccine record was not in MOH system. So we have to do another blood test to make sure that our vaccine gonna be updated into the local Singapore system, so that overall one person pay around $600 for 3 PCR testing and then 1 serology test. So it's a family of 4. We pay around $2,400 just for all the PCR testing and also the serology test. That was crazy. But I know it's same thing happened in Japan as well. So it's not just Singapore. So that was kind of like my experience. But overall, I truly enjoy what I am right now. Singapore has great weather and great food, friendly people. I truly enjoy where I'm at right now. But that was my experience. All the transition from the day we apply the visa until the day we move into the Singapore. So if you are coming to Singapore in this COVID period, you gotta make sure that you have to prepare a little bit ahead because it's gonna take a little bit of time, and then also you're gonna expect you're gonna be quarantined in the home for 7 days currently. But the situation might change pretty soon, so that you're just gonna check the MOH website quite often for the most updated information. Anyway, if you think today's video was useful, please thumbs up, and hopefully you're gonna sign up for my channel. And you also follow my Twitter if you're interested to follow me. That'd be appreciated. And thank you for watching, and I truly appreciate your view, and I hope I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.